His game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
He was brought down by
the numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 15 carries, 53 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Now the second down throw on target. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The throw over the middle, taken in, and they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 31-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Colts' 28-yard line.
From the gun, it's Tua. That's going to be caught by Coulter. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
And again, it's Tagovailoa. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And it's a clinic that we're seeing put on here so far. 6 for 6 first drive of the game for him passing.
You know, I'm a defensive guy, and while I'm admiring the heck out of what they're doing, throwing the ball around, all I keep thinking is this is where the quarterback has to go down. You've got to ruffle his timing, change things up, get some more pressure on him, because right now he's way too comfortable in throwing the ball downfield.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
And 6.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line. So now the Colts backed up to start their initial drive. They will be led out by the former Georgia Bulldog. It's Jake Fromm.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now a quick throw as they get it to Ayuk outside. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the Texans' 45-yard line.
Now the first carry from Marlon Mack. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 14 carries, 75 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Gain of 15. 1st down, Indianapolis.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup.
2nd and 8 coming up. We're scoreless after 1.
End of the 1st quarter with no score.
2nd down and 8. From the gun, it's Fromm. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll run here with Mack. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Crumb's pass.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away, not intercepted.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Drew Sample, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Jason Myers set to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? 7 yards, the pickup there. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Tua wants to throw it on second down. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver, and it's third down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A throw complete to Dorsett, and he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis, and also move the sticks.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open, just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1.
Up 2nd and a yard.
They'll run it. It's Mack. Mack gets hit, and the ball is free. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think that you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Why we saw that field goal try a moment ago, I'll never understand. But as a result, this offense, they've got to be pumped. 1st and 10 in striking position already. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. They'll try and run. Here's Mack. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run for it. It's Mack. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Marlon Mack, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run.
Jason Myers set to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
It certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that #1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference, that question becomes who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
On second down, Tua. Open man is Schwitzer, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 yards there, first down. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup.
A gain of 20.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here, and an 11-point. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Fielded in the end zone. And the decision. Come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And on the slant, able to find Ayuk. There he goes, right side.
Keep going,
touchdown, Indianapolis. Brandon Ayuk with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3 brings up 2nd and 7 at the 39.
Tua going to throw. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
The throw right sideline here is complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll get this one to Switzer. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
27-yard line.
Now they try the right side here. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there in this passing game. They just can't get off.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Jaron Reed. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big. But sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A 6-yard pick.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Back now in Houston, It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. Second and 4. Buying time to his left. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
First down, Indianapolis.
On first down, Mack. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
Taken down at the 2-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
The 2-yard line. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Here we go now with Smith. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Second effort there. He was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Set to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 1.
Going to the air. Tagovailoa. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Jaron Reed in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Trying to lay one up deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Intercepted.
Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. He'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
A loss of...
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
They'll run on first down. It's Mack, and he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll try and run for this with Mack. But I think the ball's out.
Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Now Myers for the extra point. Now he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here now the offense heading back out there. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we... Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
And he'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down.
32-yard line.
They'll run the screen with Mack. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Complete to Marlon.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. And that one off the mark, a little late with a throw. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. He's got it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead.
Jason Myers set to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
A big loss on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Looking to pass. Tua. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. One final try for Tagovailoa. And got his man complete. And all the way to the opposite 48.
Today's final score, Colts
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Colts, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars.
We did a lot for the wins. Came in a drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Yeah. I had to tighten the plan. Yeah. I got it right in the end. Ay. Now we on top once again. I don't want it if it ain't love. If it ain't, get it away from me. Who you gon' jack if it ain't us? LABB to the bakery. Some mad that I came up. I know my granny gon' pray for me. It was just us in the vacancy. We had to get it from A to B. Wheels never felt like this. 2 seats in the hills, how I feel righteous. Blue sheets for the mills, but the deal priceless. New keys can't care what's still private. I might just double it up. Did it? Never enough, I'm with it. 5, 2, 3 on the business. Whole team got wins and the wheels still spinning. I told them. What I told them. We did a lot for the wins. Came in a drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Yeah. Hey, I had to tighten the plan. I got it right in the end. Now we on top. Got a spot and it's like to the click all in. I got ops. If he drop, I just hit my fans. I was pop, they just watched. Had to take my wins. They wouldn't let me in. I've been on 10 cents. Who really holding it down? I've been holding it down and I go to it again and again. Who was the dummy that died? I'm the coldest around, but he folding again and again. I'm in the what? I'm in the day. I'm doing 30 on 30 and up. You in the what? You in the way. Either you rolling or rolling the dust. You with it, so what? Keep it running. We did a lot for the wins. Came in a drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Yeah. I had to tighten the plan. I got it right in the end. Now we on top once again. We did a lot for the wins. Came in a drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Yeah. Hey, I had to tighten the plan. I got it right in the end. Now we on 10. With a pinky ring, everybody used to pick at me. Now I'm the one that they picking. Snakes out, they hit scene, but I can't hear when the crowd screams. Still balling like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the blues in the in blood across closet where the blood thinner, juice stay turned like, you know. I've been through that water like Olympic swimmers, only bread and butter, what we ate for dinner. So I had to dream it till the dream is bigger, only want the gold, we don't need the silver. Gotta be number one, number two never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna cop my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, gotta know juice to end the drought, yeah. I buy like 23. Won't fall again and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Reaching my goals, I do not feel ashamed. I'm a dog, I'm a beast, and I cannot be tamed. I don't do it for fame, it's the love for the game. I go in like I'm trained. I'm prepared for the rain, they amazed. I ain't break from the sticks and stones they threw. Anything that you can do, I can do it better than you. No matter what I do, achieve, still got something to prove. I spent the check on the diamond cross, but still ain't paid my dues. Gotta be number one, number two never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna cop my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, gotta know juice to end the drought, yeah. I buy like 23. Won't fall again and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Come for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drill. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here.
Start your week by installing your game plan.
Today, from First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio, it's Week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store. Between the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. And the Cleveland Browns. Now Roethlisberger on first down. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And the Steeler first down.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. To the right side to Eric Ebron.
Roethlisberger's pass.
3 yards the gain there, second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the...
Now big hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Riley Harrison, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
The Browns offense getting ready for their first drive as they will do so behind their quarterback in his third year now from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately, one touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he did throw the interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the Steelers' 34.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. Now he's forced out left. Now the ball comes loose, and it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Mayfield on the keeper.
Whenever we call a game that's in the snow, we have to focus a little bit more, trying to make sure we've got the right numbers on players that we're calling, right? The right guys in the game. Think about the guys on the field. Their focus has to really increase as well because so many things coming at you, you got to make sure that you're really locked in on taking care of the ball.
Or if you don't, you cough it up like they did right there. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
At the 22.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. Short little throw to Ebron. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Landry now on the return. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield to the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage. When you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Rashard Higgins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 27-yard line.
Here's Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. 3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. 6-0 our score after 1. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Now Landry. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 37. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up
play action now. Here's Mayfield. And he rifles it complete. Caught by Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Aaron Donald's the name most people think about at the defensive tackle position, but an all-pro last year alongside him, Cameron Hayward, an absolute nightmare to try and block. And he gets into the backfield on that play and finishes it off with a loss.
Eluding the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Kareem Hunt, his running back, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. Open man is Taylor. He's got him. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
And a nice carry and a 1st down for Cleveland. A nice pickup there by Nick Chubb, who's a bright spot for this Cleveland offense. He finished 2nd in the league in rushing in 2019 with nearly 1,500 yards on the ground and got into the end zone 8 times. And how about this for durability? Has not missed a game in his NFL career. What a bounce back from a big-time knee injury while at the University of Georgia.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A 3-yard loss.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder Are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Roethlisberger got to get his guys to the line as quick as he can. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Ebron caught left side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was...
And how about this, a fake? Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Mayfield now from the 50. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
Come on, man. You better do something.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Open man is Higgins. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
41-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the gun, Mayfield. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, as the first half is winding down, and the Browns add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now Parkey for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Chris Boswell to kick off for
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 19.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd down.
And again, it's Chubb. He takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Mayfield with the
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he is going to have a Browns first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Accelerating, and off he goes. 20.
You ain't nothing!
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
Cody Parkey lining up.
They've done a good job of holding him down in the first half, but he explodes for a big one right there.
Yeah, I've got an image in my head of him being surrounded by a bunch of people, really, with ropes and other things trying to keep him locked in. But eventually they got tired, too. And just as you noted, he broke out.
And it's a guy that usually you can only keep down for so long. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
Roethlisberger's pass.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
At their own
13 yards, the tally on the return there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
24.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Now he'll pull it down, and he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
This pass complete to Higgins. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Stephon Tuitt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Final minute now of the third quarter.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. To throw, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Throwing, Mayfield. And that is going to be incomplete. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Ebron with it over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
A gain of 11 on the play.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
A gain of 9.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the finally gone. It's Roethlisberger. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's got this down to the 35.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Roethlisberger, they shakes him off. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long. Throwing on second and long. Roethlisberger. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The intended receiver there, the rookie Chase Claypool. And that'll make it third down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
Roethlisberger's pass intended for Eric Ebron.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
They're going on fourth down. It's Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on fourth down. And this Browns defense stands tall. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
He was taken down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That's a gain of
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
first and goal at the 6-yard line.
They'll run with Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Lining up
And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 20.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. This is Johnson. He's got it. Oh, and now some space to operate. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. And it is incomplete.
Roethlisberger's pass.
So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't matter. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their 38. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A run for Nick Chubb. Gets past 1 man. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. And one of the whistles for a timeout.
33-yard line.
So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
Mayfield on play action. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Incomplete. Intended for Kadarius.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
6 yards to go.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to look deep now for Landry. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro safety, Minka Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Cleveland, they'll wind up picking up win number 14.
This is Desby Music. Hey, yo. Yeah.
Nike check. I done made about $1 million and I'm only 19. Icy water dripping on a white tee. And shorty got a man, but she saying wife me. I got checks coming in like a pair of Nikes. If I like it, then you know I'm finna get it. Get the bag and then I flip it, watch me do it. All them on my wrist going stupid. Tryna put them on, but they never do it. They like, hold up, wait a minute, like don't make sense, don't really get it. I'm steady getting to the chicken, that chicky finger licking chicken. I mean, I'm getting to the good guap. Keep it back in my sauce. Diamonds cost me a lot, Nike check up all of my stocks. Hey yo, check. T-shirt, check. Sneakers, check. Socks, check. Hoodie, check. Shorts, check. And I'm only 19. Icy water dripping on a white tee. And shorty got a man, but she saying wife me. I got chest coming like a pair of Nikes. If I like it, then you know I'm finna get it. Get the bag and then I flip it, watch me do it. All them on my wrist going stupid. Tryna put them on, but they up sky high while I'm rocking Air Force. She just wanna ride, shorty bad and gorgeous. She was rocking stripes, said it's alright. Then I cut her off, shorty stepped on my off-whites. Okay, now gotta get the bag and rest every day. Don't tell me to relax, I can't, I'ma say. Got a new Prestos and a Jason away. Got a new wrist watch, but it don't take time. Might pull up on a hop if it's up too high. And you wanna play ball, hit a 3-point shot. Or this my court, got a block on lock. I made about $1 million. Icy water dripping on a white tee. And shorty got a man, but she saying wife me. I got checks coming in like a pair of Nikes. If I like it, then you know I'm hit the bag and then I flip it, watch me do it. All them on my wrist going stupid.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.
I mean, I'm getting to the good guap. Keep it racking my socks. Diamonds cost me a lot. Nike check up all of my stocks. Hey yo, Nike check.
Start your week by installing your game plan.
They don't know my name, I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains, I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade.
They say fall and you let go, but I know I got an antidote to retain some kind of self-control. Look inside my head through a telescope. You erase all the calls from a telephone. No sense of smile, maybe tell a joke. Holding back your tears, singing minimal syllables. Yeah, Look at me, out of the asylum. Was a fate or mistake, cause the time ain't up. Yeah, the parts of my mind don't get much love. If you want in my head, come and call me up. You look like a twisted Robin Hood. Yeah, you take from the rich and the poor and us. Wearing diamond shoes where you walk your pugs. In a town you could rate where there ain't no love. Where do I go? Where do I know? Not on the phone. Where do I know? They don't know my name. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade.
Stop taking, but still got a reflux. Eyes drip out from the socket to a teacup. Drink up inside, look when they peep us. Choose us in the belly of the beast, but outside there's a war going on your front lawn. Black Hawk, see the red dawn horizon. Blind yet I'm rising, abiding by laws of attraction. My thoughts still rising, thinking what type of knowledge gon' sink in? Life gives you lemons and my only thought is drinking. Thirsty, will I be alive or dead before 30? That's all that concerns me early. Lemonade quenching my inner rage when it takes center stage way before they pouring on my grave. Minute Maid, let it set my soul ablaze on each and every way. Put me in the water for the save.
They don't know my name. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Tie me up in chains. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. They don't know my name. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade.
Lemonade, lemonade.
Tie me up in chains. I get through the pain. Taste sweet on my face like it's lemonade. Oh. Shut up for what? Shut up for what?
Lemonade, lemonade, lemonade. Quenching my inner rage. Lemonade, lemonade.
What?
Lemonade,
Shut up for what?
lemonade, lemonade, lemonade. Quenching my inner rage. Lemonade, lemonade.
What? Shut up for what?
Let me explain what I did. Can I kick it? Hold on. Yeah, I got some rings and a range. Can I kick it? Yeah. Don't ask me a thing. How I got her, how I did it. Yeah. Spend the whole half, had a blast. Can I kick it? Even with a sprain. Pain, can I kick it? Just the flex, I went and bought a chain. Can I kick it? Things ain't been the same. Things have changed. Can I kick it? People acting different, so I asked.